An early start this morning. I'm off to Carboneras, which is mostly going to be main roads, unfortunately, but I'm hoping once I get there will be a few days of going up the coast road, so fingers crossed. I'm not sure whether you can see the sign behind me, but I've got to go on the main highway for a junction before I can come off again to a fairly busy road, but it's okay. It's a Sunday morning. But what struck me really about today is there's heaps and heaps of Sunday cyclists. It's just like Britain, everywhere, all the time. Not that I'm a Sunday cyclist, but there's a real fraternity about it. I stopped just for a drink, and some guys sort of pulled over and wondered whether I was in trouble of any sort, you know, puncture, whatever. I said, no, good, and off he went. So it's really nice to see that fraternity. So yeah, feeling pleased with the world. Well, that was fun. It seems that they saved their best tarmac in Spain for the green coloured E-roads, which are a joy to ride on, in all honesty. Only problem is I got tooted a few times, and then one motorcyclist waved me off, and it was obvious that these are the sort of roads I shouldn't be on. So I had a little look to the side just to see whether there was any track I could have cycled on, and it was one of those real gritty roads, you know, that you need chunky tyres on and thicker wheels than I have. So that wasn't never going to work for me over that little distance, but I've always tried to keep on the A-raids, so I'll have to try doubly hard, I think. These polytunnels, there's probably a proper word for it, but they kind of have a big plastic sack that's often white that's put around them, and often they're pulled together to keep the sun out. But here they're open, and if you have a look, you can see a great big field of zucchinis, courgettes they're called as well, aren't they? You can see the yellow heads. In fact, they look ready to eat. Where was I? I think I was saying I was cycling on this gravel, which you can tell is pretty rough. I'm slowed down now. Problem is, these are really thin tyres for this, well, thin wheels really, and I need something more chunky. And if I'd known there was going to be as much off-road as there has been, and possibly will in the future, I might have done something about this, but a bit late now. Got to hold on now because I might fall off. Got to go under this underpass now because the road's gonna, or the trail's gonna run out on my side, but I can drive on the opposite, or ride on the opposite side of the road and possibly get a lot further. Oh, that's a good road, isn't it? This is just bumpy paved. Wow, I've lucked in here. It's amazing, isn't it, how small things make your day, and rough road like this that's tarmacked is a win. So hopefully this will continue all the way to the junction, and then I'll be able to turn down the side road and be on my way. This is good to see. This is a huge field, plantation of solar power panels. Stretches both sides of the highway. So as we go across there, I haven't seen much in the way of naturally produced electricity for quite a while, since Tarifa really, when there was the wind turbines. But you would expect Spain to make use of its overabundance of sun, so it's good to see. That was the best entrance I've ever had into a town, in all honesty. Here I am in Carboneras. It must have been, a 20-minute glide down a very gentle slope. I didn't have to turn the pedals at all, so really happy with that. And I avoided the motorways most of the time. As it turns out, my fears about the road were unfounded. You can see a slight grey line above the orange line. That's the highway all the way. You can see that there's only one main bit that I actually cycle on the highway, which is the bit when I got tooted off. But apart from that, it really has been a good cycle, and that I don't know, it must have been 20 minutes gently gliding down to Carboneras really made the day. Those last 10 miles went by in a flash, and I was grateful for it. As I said, there was a lot more elevation than it felt. 461 metres, 512 feet. That's only 20 feet less than yesterday, but it didn't feel anywhere near as hard. Total miles today was 43, which brings up the running total to 311 miles so far. So that means I still have 689 to go.